As we speak, the traslacion is really moving inch by inch.
Very, very
back
slow.
home. Yeah, it's now still at, the procession is still at Arlegui Street, and it has been there for the past hour.
I think for the past hour or 2 hours, and it's been 3 hours.
3 hours.
Okay, 3 hours already. So we are seeing live photos of the Jesus Nazareno right now, as you see people trying to climb the andas, even though it was prohibited already starting this year. But that's just a testament to their devotion, to their dedication. The image of the Jesus Nazareno left the Quirino Grandstand at 4 a.m. today. That was 40 minutes earlier than when it left the Quirino Grandstand last year.
Oh.
That's right. And of course, what we're seeing is a lot of moisture actually on the glass, even though they said that the andas this year has supposedly has been designed to prevent this from happening. Again, testament to the number of people and I'm sure body heat surrounding the andas. The good news is it looks like the andas is still in good condition. There was one time when the axle broke because of all the people trying to climb it.
So right now, the target of officials is that the traslacion may reach up to 21 hours, which is quite far from their initial target of 12 hours. So I believe we're already 15 to 16 hours and counting. And right now, the andas is still at Arlegui Street. Earlier, we had a reporter reporting there, and sabi niya, mahaba kasi talaga ang Arlegui Street, so it's moving quite slow because also of the people trying to push in front, not just from the back, but people na sumasalubong doon sa andas.
This might be a record holder.
21 hours.
Well, we'll see because as the andas traverses Arlegui Street, it will, of course, try to turn when it hits Fraternal Street. So we wonder when that will happen. I wonder also, ladies, if, in times of hardships, kung dumadami yung number of devotees, especially now na tapos na yung pandemic.
I think it's also because the pandemic sort of kept people away, and this time, I mean, it's been years, but they're more free to express their devotion.
And what's interesting this year is a lot of the devotees who attended are actually young members or members of the youth, no? So it's good because it's just also a testament that this tradition is being passed from generation to generation. As you see, hundreds of people here pushing one another, trying to get close to the andas in hopes of getting to touch it or getting to at least wipe their towels. So we will continue monitoring the Traslacion 2026. But in other news, a senior military officer has been relieved from his post after a social media post circulated in which he appeared to withdraw personal support for President Bongbong Marcos. Colonel Odi Mongao, a training official under the Army's Training Command, was removed from his position and placed under investigation after posting remarks questioning the president's moral authority as Commander-in-Chief. The alleged post read, "I, Colonel Odi A. Mongao, is withdrawing my personal support to our President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Sobra na, tama na. The Filipino people is worth fighting for." The move comes months after the military rejected efforts by retired generals to persuade active commanders to withdraw support from Marcos over alleged flood control fund anomalies. That September meeting, led by retired Air Force Major General Romeo Poquis, was rejected by AFP Chief General Romeo Browner Jr. Poquis was arrested this week on sedition charges. Meanwhile, Army Training Command Chief Major General Michael Lohico confirmed Mongao's relief, saying an investigation is underway to determine possible administrative and legal violations tied to the online statement. He added the Army is still trying to reach Mongao to provide emotional support.
And now for his insights, we speak with Philippine Army Training Command Commander, Major General Mike Lohico. Good evening to you, General. Welcome to the Big Story.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me, Ces Oreña-Drilon, and good evening to all your listeners.
All right, sir. Where is Colonel Mongao right now?
Okay, at around 9:30 this evening, Colonel Mongao voluntarily turned himself in And just at the right time because malapit na kasi ma-terminate yung kanyang break, kanyang New Year's break. So he voluntarily surrendered himself, turned himself in, and we had a lot to talk about this evening, and he is fully cooperating with us.
What sanctions will he have to suffer for what he did?
That is something that will be determined after we have completed the investigation. So there are a lot of things that we wanted to determine. What we saw was the post that, what he posted on social media last night. And syempre, we want to know the predicators of why he posted that. So, and try to see what are the other factors that led him to do what he did. So this will just come out later on during the investigation. Right now, we've talked to him and we advised him to get some rest. According sa kanya, wala siyang tulog for the past 3 days. So we'll give him his mandatory checkup, medical checkup, and after that we will tomorrow morning we will continue with the investigation.
But General, he admits that he did indeed make that post.
Yes, and that this is serious. Make no mistake, this is a serious departure from military discipline, and this is as bad as you can think about it. Pero the mitigating thing here is that he voluntarily submitted himself back to military control, and he is fully cooperating with all of us. So yun ang importante. But make no mistake, we will continue with the investigation as impartial as we can take it, and we intend to get to the bottom of this on why he did what he did.
As you said, his surrender
Oh,
is a
my-
mitigating factor. What prompted him to submit himself to higher authority?
Well, I cannot right now ascertain what is going through his mind. My gut feel is that later on, after posting his statement on social media, maybe as the evening progressed into daytime, medyo nakapag-isip-isip din siya. Then he probably realized that what he did may have very detrimental effects to him because of the possible major repercussions that is associated with his statement. So I think after giving it some major thought, he decided to come back and into our fold and cooperate with us. Of course, I think he's a senior officer, so he fully understands the gravity of his actions, and because of that, he eventually came around and submitted himself back to military control. This, in a way, mitigates somewhat, but it is the investigation will continue. We have to behave in a very professional manner.
Okay, General Loico, hi, this is Shawn. I just wanted to ask, because what caught my eye from your statement is that you will extend emotional support. Was there anything prior to this Facebook post that you were aware of in terms of him having maybe emotional hardships, or did this catch you completely off guard, or maybe his other colleagues?
Okay, there is when you're commanding people, one of the qualities that will help a lot is empathy. Okay, so the basic assumption there is that when you post something like this that is unsolicited and came out of nowhere, It has to come from a place of confusion, or a place of you could call it confusion or desperation, ano. And the thing is, Colonel Mungao, he is a senior officer, ano, and he has been, to be honest, he has been passed over, all right, for career advancement. I have worked with him for a very long time, and I will attest to his dedication to his work. But in many cases, sa ganyan, there is always a sense of frustration on his part, ano. So part of it is empathy on our side, knowing that the military profession is hindi madali to, eh. It's not an easy profession to get into. And some of our jobs here really take a lot of hard work, and sometimes our efforts are either rewarded or they're not. But professionalism keeps us going forward, ano.
But why was he passed over?
Toll on his well-being, on his mental health. So we naturally we extend this sense of empathy also to him, kasi nasa sense namin that this might have been coming from a place of frustration.
Bakit po siya na-pass over?
Well, a lot of people are passed over. I think these things.
Yes, a lot of people are passed
over.
over, but they don't post on social media about withdrawing support.
Precisely, that's a reality, That's a reality, and this is in any organization, there are merits. We are all judged according to our merits. We are all judged according to our accomplishments and our capacity to handle stress, our capacity to perform in a professional manner.
Has his...
That's absolutely right. What you mentioned is absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
Many people get passed over, but many people either keep on moving forward and just perform our duties like professionals.
Has his
And,
action po...
we have to understand that not everybody behaves this way.
All right. But have his actions affected other officers? Is there some kind of
This is,
unrest, or is it spreading? What's the sense of the other officers under your command?
Well, this is just a one-off. Okay, I will not really dig into this that much. This is just a one-off. When we talk to our people, when we talk to our men and women, in the service, we keep on reminding them that the reason why we wear the uniform is to perform a duty to the country. And this type of job is not easy. Mahirap talaga to. All right? And it takes steel will for you to engage in this sort of profession. Now, if you are not happy with the service, okay, you're free to leave the service. Madali lang Madali lang naman yan eh. And a lot of people, admittedly, they cannot hack it. They go into the service, they find out it's not for them, they leave. That's fine. But for as long as we are in uniform, we are expected to perform our duty. Okay, that is kumbaga the bottom line. That is our non-negotiables dito. And if I will consider this an isolated case, because we, like you said, a lot of people, they suffer for the service, they work hard, but not all of them engage in this sort of thing. So for me, I will not I will not speculate kung ano yung pumapasok sa mind ni Colonel Mongao as of this time. He has talked to us, and I think he's much in a better cooperative mood right now. But in due course, I believe that we will find out more about what motivated him and what led to his actions. But I would like to say, that Colonel Mongao, he is not only a senior officer, okay, that I've known professionally, but he's also a close friend. So, yeah, giving due respect to his 34 years of service, he has also worked hard. We do not know what led him to do this, but rest assured that he understands the gravity of his actions, and he also understands that if you do something, you have to face the consequences.
But General, on the flip side, the supporters of Colonel Mongao say and argue that withdrawing personal support to President Bongbong Marcos is also different from disobeying the chain of command. So may ganun po bang klaseng distinction talaga, General? And is there even any room for personnel to express personal opinion?
Of course, because when you withdraw your personal support to the president, you are withdrawing your support to the commander-in-chief. Okay, so the president wears two hats. Okay, he's the president of the republic, and at the same time, he is the commander. Okay, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Philippines. Okay, which makes him everybody's boss in the military. Now, to withdraw your personal support is more than just withdrawing a personal loyalty. You're actually withdrawing your mandate. Okay, kasi naka-uniform kami. You're in uniform. You have a mandate to obey, to be faithful to the chain of command. And the president, as the civilian elected authority, he also represents a civilian authority, which is also consistent with the principle of civilian authority, which is supreme over the military. Kaya it is not a small thing na pag sinabi mong nag-withdraw ka ng personal support, that is basically major disobedience to the chain of command.
Right. General, actually, that's what I don't want to belabor this point, but you did say it's a one-off. However, are you going to write it off like that, or are you going to investigate further that this kind of sentiment is not spreading, just to be, double sure? Because it could be a one-off, but I mean, like you said, we don't know what his motivation is. It could be a sentiment that is around.
Yes, you make a good point. I will say it's a one-off because we just saw one incident. Okay, so as of right now, I will say it is a one-off until I am proven otherwise. But yes, the investigation is ongoing. We need to understand his state of mind. We need to understand that when he is talking to us, he has full control over his emotions and his recollection. Yan ang importante, So the important thing is he's back, he's safe, he's among his friends, and we are treating this very, very seriously. And he understands the seriousness and the gravity of his actions.
So, General Lohico, court-martial proceedings will probably be not far behind.
That right now is speculative. Again, I don't want to jump the gun on the investigators. Pag sinabi ko kasi yan, the investigation will tend to go one way already. I will not do that. I will allow the investigation to take its course.
We thank you so much for your time and being candid with us as well. Major General Mike Lohico of the Philippine Army, STRACOM. One of the quote-unquote lucky 9 cabinet secretaries who is on the verge of getting the boot says he has not received any news of a cabinet revamp. DepEd Secretary Sonny Angara was with President Marcos this morning at the Quezon City Science High School for the launching of a GAP AI which integrates artificial intelligence into the Philippine education system. Angara said while he has no conversations with the president about this, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto told him there are no plans for reshuffling.
Well, hopefully hindi, no? Hopefully hindi tayo kasama doon kung meron man. At syempre, we appreciate that nagpapasalamat din tayo sa statement ni Spokes Claire, Yusek Claire, na clarifying that there is no such revamp.
An online news outlet first reported that 9 cabinet secretaries would soon be ousted as a result of the biggest shakeup in Marcos's term amid plummeting approval ratings. Health Secretary Ted Verzosa said in a briefing on Wednesday that there's no truth to the revamp, while Palace Press Officer Claire Castro denied that Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco already has a replacement. But Castro denied that there is a cabinet reshuffling for now. Asked what she meant by that, here's an explanation.
Aminado naman tayo eh. Sabi po natin na sa lahat ng pagkakataon, ang Pangulo po ay nag-e-evaluate ng mga trabaho ng mga miyembro ng kabinete. At ngayon, hindi po na ibibigay sa atin ang anumang impormasyon kung siya ay dissatisfied na sa trabaho ng mga miyembro ng kabinete. Pero kung magkakaroon man po ng cabinet revamp, sa amin din po ito magsisimula at aming i-anunsyo. Pero sa ngayon po, wala po talaga ako masasabi dahil wala akong ibinibigay sa aking anumang update.
In other news, the lawyer for the late DPWH Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral has spoken to News 5, and she claims that 6 boxes of the so-called Cabral files are missing. Attorney May Divina Gracia says her legal team has failed to obtain and sort out these documents due to Cabral's untimely death. Recall that Cabral fell into a ravine in Tuba, Benguet on December 19 last year. Divina Gracia has yet to locate these boxes, but how vital are they to uncovering the truth behind the corruption scandal?
These files, well, of course, as to the existence of those instructions, these would confirm that all Ms. Cabral did was to just follow instructions from the secretary. This can be used to trace the proponents of those projects that were later found to be anomalous, ghost, substandard.
Attorney Divina Gracia also contradicts claims that she had a direct hand in questionable alcohols. During the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings, it was revealed that only Undersecretary Cabral understood the formula for coming up with these allocables. Allocables are basically pork funds determined at the earliest stage of the budget process, with district representatives informed of their amounts before selecting from a menu of projects. Divina Gracia maintains that Cabral was not involved in budget anomalies.
Yusek Bernardo was misleading the public when he said that she was the architect of all these mess. Again, ano bang pinupukol sa kanya? Yung paglista niya ng mga projects, hindi siya kailangan for the scheme to prosper. Kasi whether or not alam niya, maglilista talaga siya ng project proposals. Kung kung utusan siya ng secretary, that by and of itself it's not sign of any anomaly.
We're just going to take a quick break, but coming up, Albay Province prepares for a possible escalation in Mount Mayon's eruption. We'll get an update from the ground when we return. Keep it here on One News.
You're watching The Big Story here on One News. The death toll at the collapsed landfill facility in Cebu City rose to 2 as authorities continued search operations in the area. Cries for help could still be heard as rescuers are scouring the area for employees of the Binaliw landfill facility. More than 30 are still missing. Fortunately, 12 have been found alive and well. Authorities believe the landfill caved in after the magnitude 6.9 quake in September and Typhoon Tino in November of last year weakened its structure further. The problem now is it's disintegrating further and could endanger rescuers if they go deeper in their search. Cebu City Mayor Nestor Archival visited the collapsed structure and has ordered an investigation into the incident. We now discuss this with Mayor Archival himself. Good evening to you, Mayor. Welcome to the Big Story. Mayong gabi, Mayor. Mayor, can you hear us? All right, Mayor. Okay, our line seems to have been cut off, so let's try further.
Yeah, let's try further. But while we do that, why don't we talk a bit about what happened to the landfill? Of course, this is right outside the city, so I'm sure there's...
You know, landfills are supposed to no longer exist.
I mean, in that form, right? And and you know, like before this landslide happened, there's already a lot of reports. If you look at local dailies in Cebu, there have been reports for the past year about complaints from residents about the smell. So, kumbaga parang hindi siya na-address.
And at some point, I don't know how old this landfill is. One of the questions we want to ask, Mayor, it's supposed to be closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was
After a certain period of time, you can't just keep dumping and dumping and dumping.
It's the only landfill, I believe, close to Cebu City, and it has already reached 25 to 30 stories, imagine.
Yeah. Actually, you know, this reminded me of way back in the year 2000 when Payatas, right, our landfill here in Quezon City, same thing happened. And then after that, of course, President Estrada at the time closed it down immediately, and they, you know, actually came out with a law that this type of landfill is not supposed to be allowed anymore. So it begs the question.
Because incinerators are banned
Also.
in the law, although which is leading to a difficult situation for our city planners.
That's right. But let's not forget that this is privatized, right? And there are private landfills that are operating, I guess, in a parang first world level. But I think we have...
Is Mayor here on the line? Good evening to you, Mayor Archival. Welcome to the Big Story.
Good evening. Good evening, yes. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So tell us the status as of now of the search and rescue operations at the site.
Okay. So far, we were able to find 12. And I think you know that already. This 12 are already in the hospital. We have 3 casualties, and we have still 35 people missing.
So how long will the search continue? We understand that the operation is quite delicate and may even endanger the lives of the rescuers.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, what we're trying to do, because we had a meeting this morning with the rescuers, the landfill owner, the SWD, BG, BFP, and the police. The rescue will be 3 days.
3 days.
Today, 9, 10, and 11. So we're trying to do the best we can in order that we can still find these 35 alive.
Could this disaster have been prevented? I know it's hard to have hindsight at this time, pero may nakita na po ba kayong mga danger signs na mangyayari ito?
Yeah, no. Because right after the earthquake, we did some inspections. And during that inspection, there was structures. There was no movement, the garbage dump, the garbage pile. And right after also the Typhoon Tino, There was also an inspection. There was no signs of movement in the structure.
How long is the lifespan of this landfill? Kasi parang kasing tangkad na ng condominium po ito.
Okay. This landfill was constructed in 2018 and it's actually operating 2019. And until now, the area is more or less 20 hectares. As per reported, the area which is being used for the landfill is about 3 hectares. So we have more than 10 hectares that would be used, and I think part of this would be used for, tree planting. And so far, as they're meeting with the owners and the DNR, they still have an area which they can fill in. So mayroon pang area.
Okay. And we understand this is, of course, a privately run landfill. In terms of accountability, is there accountability on the part of the company that is running the landfill or operating the landfill, Mayor?
Yeah, I would. Yes, I believe, because they're the ones operating this. Now, although this incident cannot be predicted, because I understand there were these conversations that we have early this morning. You're correct from what you observed also, that during the earthquake, there might be some movement in the base, and right after that movement, we did not realize that there is that movement. Now, right after the typhoon, there was excess rain, and this pile of garbage seems like a sponge, no? The moment the rain actually, pour in, there's seepage towards that to that area, and eventually it went down to the base. I think this is one thing that made it, slide. No, there was this, that happened because the area, the sorting area, they call that as an MRS. It's basically there's a distance from that building and to the landfill. So when there was this erosion going down, part of this building was the one that's being hit, and of course the total building was affected.
Could the building have been too close to the mountain of garbage?
I cannot see that, but during the inspection, of the DNR, they were given a certificate.
Mayor, Cebu is, of course, the second biggest city. You produce about 600 tons of waste, of garbage a day. And what's going to happen to that? Because trash needs to be collected and brought somewhere on a daily basis. What is a short-term plan while you figure out things and open up a new landfill?
Okay, this is the plan. We are asking the help of the DNR. First, during the meeting, we have identified 5 landfills all over the province. And right now, we're still on negotiating the 2. Because DNR is suggesting 2 landfills, which is very, very near to the city. We're still negotiating with the LGU through the DNR. If they will permit us, then that would be fine. Starting tomorrow, we will now deliver our garbage to that landfill, which is accredited.
So
the second option is.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mayor. Sorry.
The second option is we are now trying to find a transfer station. A transfer station is an area where we can put the garbage for the meantime, okay? Because it's Pinulog time already, and we have a lot of garbage. So we need to put this garbage in what we call as a transfer station. And the transfer station, there would be trucks that would be hauling this garbage going to the landfill, either far from the city or near from the city.
Mayor,
So
are there any...
that's the option.
Okay.
Are there any efforts also from the city government to reduce the garbage of the city? As Shawn mentioned, you produce about 500 to 600 tons a day. So marami po yun, ano? And if you said that the landfill was just made noong 2019, that's just 7 years, and already abot 25 to 30 stories na yung taas ng landfill na to. So are there any efforts to reduce garbage in the city?
Okay, that's what we're doing. I'm a new mayor, just about 180 days, and we have the 9003 national law, and we have what we call as a supplemental law, which is 1361, that we will be reducing the waste going to the landfill because we are spending an amount of 1.5 to 2 million a day. So what we're going to do is to segregate. We have that program starting January 1 to January 30. We will be, January 1 to 15. And that we have to educate the people. We need to have awareness. From the 16 going to 30, we will have a dry run. In February 1, going forward, there would be a full implementation of the waste segregation. We will not be collecting waste which are actually unsegregated. Actually, we have that plan already. We have that plan already before this incident.
Just going back to this landfill, Mayor, you said that there was enough land still available to be used, but why was garbage piled that high in an area of a landfill that had space for more garbage to be piled in? How could it have reached like 30 stories high?
I don't know if that is 30 story high. The one that could probably be a question about that is the question that would be DNR.
Because the DNR gave all the permits for this particular landfill.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and I don't think that's 30 story high.
You think that's an exaggeration, po?
25 to 30,
Maybe.
as reports have it, Mayor.
Maybe. I mean, I cannot estimate that high.
Well, Mayor, despite the situation, you said it still does not constitute a public health crisis in Cebu City. What will prompt you to put it under a public health crisis? Because some environmentalists are already saying that there are risks na yung katas ng landfill could spill over to water sources and cause possibly a health crisis in the city.
Yes, well, right now what we're trying to do is bring this garbage out from the city. The area where the landfill is, there was this reports that there are leakages, but then again, that's what we need to verify. But right now, what we are focusing is the rescue operation.
Okay.
All right. Well, we do hope you can still find as much survivors as possible, Mayor. We thank you for your time. That was Mayor Nestor Archival of Cebu City.
Now, meantime, Albay Governor Noel Rosal has recommended a state of calamity in the province as Mayon volcano continues to exhibit heightened magmatic activity. The province has also set up tent cities as it expects the alert level to be raised anytime soon. And now let's get the latest situation from our News 5 correspondent, Gio Robles, reporting to us from Legazpi City in Albay. Gio, how's the situation of nearby residents?
Pawi, it's a rainy evening here in Albay, which may soon be placed under a state of calamity as Governor Noel Rosal recommends the move amid escalating activity at Mayon volcano. The recommendation is intended to speed up the release of emergency funds and strengthen preparations as the situation continues to evolve. Provincial officials say they are now preparing for the possibility that Mayon could be raised from Alert Level 3 to Alert Level 4 or even 5. If that happens, evacuations will expand beyond the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone to include communities within the 7 and 8-kilometer extended danger zones. Up to 79,000 residents residents could be affected. Last night, Mayon showed clear signs of intensified activity. The glow of lava, which was visible at the crater, followed by rock falls that triggered pyroclastic density currents, locally known as uson. FIVOC say the number of these events doubled from the previous day. The flows, a dangerous mix of volcanic gas, hot ash, and molten rock, traveled as far as 1.5 to 2 kilometers down natural channels on the volcano's slopes. This morning in Camalig, thick fog blanketed the area. Local officials say the fog is weather-related and not volcanic, but it has made monitoring Mayon more difficult. On the ground, the impact is already clear. More than 30 barangays within the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone are now empty. Farmlands have been abandoned and some farmers risk returning briefly to harvest what they could before ashfall damaged their crops. Others worry about livestock left behind with no safe place to move them. As Mayon remains unstable, authorities are preparing for a larger and possibly longer evacuation. Tent cities are now being set up near evacuation centers, specifically in the town of Malilipot, with the help from social welfare teams, the military, and the Coast Guard. Each tent can house 2 families, while long-term relocation plans are being put in place. Officials say they're coordinating with national agencies to identify land and housing for evacuees so they could no longer return within Mayon's 6-kilometer permanent danger zone. Pawi, back to you.
Well, thank you very much for that report. That was Gio Robles reporting live from Legazpi City in Albay. Ingat kayo dyan, Gio.
Now, it's been 16 hours since this year's Traslacion kicked off, but the journey to the Minor Basilica and National Shrine of Jesus Nazareno is still far from ending. And at the moment, the Andas is already at Fraternal Street. Let's get updates from the ground from Mobile Journal Francis Rivera, who's right there in the middle of the action. Francis, mula dyan sa kinatatayuan mo, gaano pa bang katagal bago makalampas ang Andas?
Yes, inaasahan nga na mahigit ilang oras pa bago talaga makita at matanaw natin mula dito sa kinakatayuan natin yung Andas ng Jesus Nazareno. So mahigit 4 na oras na nga na-stuck kanina doon sa may Arlegui Street at inaantay nga natin yan makadating dito sa mismong intersection nito, no? At bago nga dito pumunta sa simbahan para sa padungaw. And sis, ikot ko lang kayo sa lagay dito ngayon. Eto, no, talagang yung mga volume ng mga deboto ng Jesus Nazareno ay hindi na rin magkamayaw ngayon at nakakahintay nga dito sa Andas. Yung iba nga dito, dito na halos naglaan ng kanilang mga no, naglatag sila ng mga kanilang mga kape at yung iba kasi dito grupo-grupo, pamilya at meron din sila nagdaan ng mga replika no na yung ilang deboto ay nag-aagis din ng mga panyo at beam po nga dito sa mga replikang ito at inaasahan pa nga nila na ilang oras pa bago talaga makapunta dito yung Andas nitong buong Nazareno. Yes?
So sa tansya mo, mga anong oras makakarating sa simbahan?
Sa simbahan ng Quiapo, ang estimate na binigay kasi sa atin no ng authority no na ng parang 28 hours. So possibly talagang uumagahin na dahil medyo naipit din daw talaga doon sa isang kanto dito no at nasaan niya natin na baka umaga na talaga makapasok doon sa Quiapo Church no pero syempre inaasahan syempre no mas hinahangad pa rin natin na mas mapaikli pa yung oras na yan.
Alright, pamorningan ang ikaw hanggang umaga ang aabutin mo dyan. Maraming salamat sa iyo, mobile journalist Francis Rivera, reporting to us live from Arlegui Street.
We are pausing for another quick breather, but right after that, the lawyer of ex-Congressman Zaldi Co questions the seizure of several luxury vehicles allegedly owned by the former congressman. The vehicles were taken by a search warrant from a parking facility in Taguig. Keep it here on One News.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying here with us on The Big Story. Luxury vehicles allegedly linked to resign Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico have been turned over to the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI. This comes after a joint extraction operation that seized at least 8 vehicles at a condominium parking area in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig. Among those seized were a Rolls-Royce, Cadillac Escalades, Lexus units, and a Mercedes-Benz. Authorities said most of the vehicles were registered under entities linked to Ko, including SunWest Inc., which he co-founded. For his part, Attorney Rui Randain, Ko's legal counsel, called the seizure illegal and said complaints will be filed alleging intimidation and unlawful detention of drivers. But the customs rejected the claim, saying copies of the search warrant were presented and acknowledged before the operation.
Wala nang warrant, ano? Humihingi ako kahapon ng search warrant or any other legal process na nag-justify yung search nila at yung pag-confiscate nila. Wala silang pinakita sa akin kahapon.
Before we entered, we provided copies of the search warrant doon sa mga abogadong nandun, no? We were received. They also acknowledged the search warrant. That's why there was a discussion muna before we proceeded to the parking area. Sorry.
The ICI said the warrant was issued after it received information on 15 vehicles allegedly tied to Ko, which were referred to the LTO for ownership verification and to customs for document checks. The commission said 9 of the 15 vehicles were found to have incomplete importation records and unpaid taxes. Ko, who was former House Appropriations Committee chair, is wanted for graft and malversation linked to an alleged 289 million peso anomalous flood control project in Oriental Mindoro. His last known location was in Portugal.
At this point, we go to Quiapo Church in Manila, where devotees await the return of the Black Nazarene. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes joins us live on the ground. Merimon, mukhang uumagahin ka dyan.
Nako, Ces, tama yan. Kumpara kasi kaninang umaga doon sa Quirino Grandstand, bago puntong alas 4 ng umaga, umalis na mismo yung andas sa Quirino Grandstand. At sabi ng mga nakausap natin doon, mabilis daw yan. Depende na lang talaga sa pagsalubong ng mga deboto sa iba't ibang mga bahagi pa ng ruta. At sa pagbibilang natin, sa Fraternal Street pa lang kasi ang andas. So may 15 stops pa ito bago yung final stop nito, which is itong nasa likuran natin, ang simbahan ng Quiapo. Pero bukod dyan, katatapos lang ng 8 to 9 na mass, tuloy-tuloy pa nito to hanggang sa dumating ang andas dito sa simbahan. At inaasahan ng karamihan na pwedeng ang abutin nito ng pangmadaling araw. Pero hindi nito natitinag yung mga deboto, lalo-lalo na yung kanilang pananampalataya. Kasi kung dito sa likuran natin, lahat ng mga ito, nakapila sila para makapasok sa loob ng simbahan para sa misa. Samantala, dito sa Quezon Boulevard side, inaasahan natin na yung doon sa may Hidalgo side, dyan lalabas yung andas. Ikot siya ulit dito ng Quezon Boulevard hanggang makapunta na sa Villalobos at saka Plaza Miranda. So ganun pa katagal yung pinakahihintayin natin bago yung magsaksi itong Traslasyon 2026. At sa mga nakausap natin, ang sinasabi nila kahit daw nakakapagod, kahit daw umagahin din sila dito, yun naman talaga yung punto ng kanilang panata, ng kanilang debosyon na ginagawa nila ito bilang sakripisyo at pagsasabuhay din ng pagsasakripisyo ni Poong Jesus Nazareno. At yan muna ang latest mula dito. Balik sa inyo.
So, Merimon, nasa Vergara Street na raw ang andas. So, ganong kalayo yan? Ilang stops pa mula sa Vergara?
From after Fraternal, Vergara, sunod naman kasi niya na pa Duque de Alba Street, Castillejos, Farnesio, Arlequín, Nepomuceno, Concepcion, Carcer, Hidalgo. Ito na, malapit na to, pa Quiapo area proper na talaga to. 14 and then yung pang 15 na stop na is yung pinaka-Quiapo Church. So ganun pa yung pinaka-iikutin nito. At yung isang rason din daw kaya napapabagal talaga yung paglalakad ng andas, bukod sa yung maliliit na mga daanan nito, yung pagsiksikan talaga ng mga tao. Even though pinapaalala ng ihos ng mga otoridad na hanggat maaari wag nang sampahan, hindi talaga natitinag yung mga nakita nating deboto na kinukuha yung pagkakataon na makalapit, makapagpunas ng kanilang tuwalya o panyo sa poon.
Merimon, panghuli na lang, base sa mga nakakausap mo dyan, mukha bang record-breaking yung dami ng deboto ngayong taon kaya umabot ng ganitong katagal ang traslasyon? . Nako.
Mm-mm.
Okay, go ahead.
Ses, ang sinasabi nila dito, hindi na nga raw nila naiisip yung pinakabilang nila. Pero sila mismo kasi yung iba dito, sinasama rin yung kanilang mga anak, mga pamangkin. At yun yung isa sa nagiging factor din, kaya lalong dumadami din yung mga tao. Kasi mga nakausap natin, ang sinasabi, gusto rin daw nila ipasa yung tradisyon na to ng pamamanata at yung pagpa-participate mismo.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Mobile Journal Merimon Reyes.
And for our big picture tonight, this is going to be a somber one. We mourn the death of one of our own, a colleague in the media industry. Ito Son, a photojournalist at Saksi Tabloid, collapsed and died early this morning just as he was about to cover the traslasyon. Manila Police District said Son arrived at Police Station 5 near Quirino Grandstand when he suddenly collapsed upon reaching the entrance. The Presidential Task Force on Media Security said Son continued covering pre-traslasyon events despite suffering from a flu. The Media Task Force honored Son's dedication and love for the craft. His wake will begin tomorrow at the Santo Domingo Church in Quezon City, and our sincere condolences go out to the family and friends of Ito Son.
That's it for the big story this Friday night. Thank you so much for watching.
We are back here on Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. We'll see you then.
I thought you were about to say tomorrow. Wow.
No, it's Saturday tomorrow.
Have a good weekend. Kapatid, we are One News, all sides, all the time. Good night.